Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this video on the Aries full moon. So this is going to be happening on October the 20th at 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be taking a look today at the main astrological shifts happening at the time of this full moon. And I also always look at it from the lens of the Akashic field as well. So in addition to being a master astrologer, I'm also an Akashic Records practitioner. So I love to study these astrological and planetary shifts in the space of the Akashic Records to really support you in connecting with this energy in the highest potential. So I'm excited to dive in today. If this interests you, be sure that you subscribe so you stay up to date on all the videos, meditations, programs that I put out here on YouTube. It is such an honor to be on this journey with you. So leading up to this Aries full moon, we have a lot of powerful shifts that are taking place. So on the 18th, Jupiter and Mercury are both going to be going direct. So they're going to be direct at the time of this full moon. Now, if you remember back to the new moon in Libra, I talked a lot about the energy beginning to pick up, momentum beginning to pick up, feeling like new ideas are coming in, like you're getting unstuck. And this is just going to be turned up even more with this Aries full moon. There's a lot of forward momentum here. So throughout this Mercury retrograde period, it has been an incredible time to reflect on the patterns at play in your relationships. And I know you may not hear that often, the word incredible paired with Mercury retrograde, but I really do feel like these cosmic shifts are always supporting us. They're always serving us. And when we know how to work with them and the lessons that they're teaching us, then all of it becomes a blessing. And we end up growing and evolving through each of the shifts that take place. So this Mercury retrograde through the sign of Libra was about a deeper awareness of the patterns at play in your relationships. So old patterns coming to the surface so you are able to release them. And this can be many different things. This could be a pattern of codependency, a pattern of not feeling safe and speaking your truth, a pattern of feeling left out and like you don't belong. It could be a pattern of things going really well in your relationships. And then the more you get to know the person, the more that judgments kick in and you begin to back away. There's so many things that each of us can do in our relationships. And this Mercury retrograde was shining a spotlight on that. So on the 18th, Mercury is going direct, and this can help you implement the newfound awareness. Now that you are aware of these patterns, you get to make a new choice. So having the awareness is the first step, but the second part is really, we have to take action. We have to be aware that I don't want to repeat the past, which means that I can't fall into these old karmic cycles. I have to learn the lesson that it is teaching me and make a new choice, make a new decision. Mercury going retrograde can also help bring in a lot of clarity. If you've been having decisions in your life that you feel like you don't know what to decide, you don't know what direction to go, Mercury direct can bring in that clarity that you may be looking for. Now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of abundance, of growth. It's also very connected to knowledge and wisdom. So with Jupiter now going direct, we really feel that energy and momentum building. And again, we really feel like we have new information to move forward with. So we are not stuck in the patterns of the past. We now have the ability to choose again. So that's just some of the cosmic shifts that are happening leading up to the full moon. Now on the 20th, we have the Aries full moon. So the spotlight really being on this Aries energy, which is the first sign of the zodiac. So it also really signals a new beginning and a fresh start. It's a cardinal energy, and the cardinal signs are really about taking initiative, having the courage to go first. And this is where we get into some of the themes at play with this full moon. How are you leading yourself? Are you having the courage to take action on your goals? Aries energy can sometimes, in the shadow expression of it, be seen as very impulsive. And we want to be aware of impulsivity. The other side of it is if we're feeling really stuck in indecision, or we tend to take a long time weighing the pros and cons, planning everything out, but never taking action, this energy can really begin to move you forward. There is power in taking action. When we take action, we get out of our head and we have new information. So this really is a time with the planets being direct, with the Aries energy, to begin to move forward with different projects. And naturally, you're going to feel the energy and momentum building around it. Now, again, when we're looking at leadership, I feel this is a really big topic right now, and we are stepping into a new paradigm of how we lead, where it's no longer through manipulation or intimidating other people, or this belief that there's only a few that can succeed or be on top. Like, that is all old paradigm thinking. So this full moon is giving us an opportunity to reflect on that as well, where we are falling into unhealthy ways of competition. Like competition, which Aries energy really brings into the spotlight, can be good if we're looking at what other people are doing and we're allowing it to inspire us, or we're competing with ourselves in the sense that we are always growing and evolving. Where it becomes detrimental is when we feel like we have to push ourselves to exhaustion, or we look at what other people are achieving and we think, oh, because they did it, there's no space for me. We have to be aware of those limitations of competition and how in our society we've used it in very detrimental ways to keep ourselves playing small and to hold ourselves back from what we want to achieve. Now, the ruler of this full moon is Mars, which at the time of the full moon is opposite Aries in the sign of Libra. And Mars energy is all about our life force, our drive. So really good opportunity to look at what drives you forward, what motivates you, and how you are using your life force energy. Now, because it can be a feeling of tension and anger and frustration that may come in with this full moon energy, and that in and of itself is not a bad thing if we know how to use that energy, if we know how to work with feelings of anger and frustration in healthy ways, when we have healthy outlets for expressing how we feel. And that's actually really key when it comes to manifestation. If we're just shoving down feelings of tension and anger and frustration, they're just getting buried in the shadow, and it becomes part of our subconscious programming, which becomes part of what we manifest and create. If instead we're looking at, how do I allow this energy to move and flow through me, it can be a really productive thing. And then we're not holding on to things in our body and later having different physical manifestations or health complications because of energy that we have stored up instead of expressed. So this full moon is that beautiful opportunity to look at, how do I use my life force energy? How do I allow energy to move through me in really healthy ways? And again, noticing as well of where we may not have healthy expressions of our anger and frustration, where we may take it out on others or even be very abusive toward ourselves, really keeping ourselves down or getting stuck in unhealthy patterns. And again, the full moon is always the opportunity to release and to clear. And it also acts as an amplifier. So as we become aware of these patterns, we are able to move through them. We are able to release and clear what no longer serves us. So I have my chart pulled up here. I'm just taking a look at some of the other energies at play. So opposite the moon, we have the sun and Mars in Libra. And anytime it's a full moon, there's always an opposition between the sun and the moon. And that's what makes it a full moon, is the moon is being fully illuminated by the sun. So we have the sun at this time in the sign of Libra. And where the Aries energy is all about the self. The Aries energy is where we learn to cultivate a strong identity, where we learn to develop deep levels of self-love. And that's something else I feel coming in from the Akashic records that I really want to share, is the power of the identity that we have, and how sometimes our identity is based on other people's projections and labels of us. Like, people may say you're too quiet, you're too loud, or too ambitious, not ambitious enough, right? All these things. And then we take it on and we create this sense of self and identity that may be so removed from who we really are. So this is also an opportunity to look at, who are you at your core? Who are you beyond the stories and beyond the labels you have taken on? And is that definition of the self helping you move toward what you desire to create in your life? And just an example that's coming in, because some of my group programs right now, I'm really looking at wealth and abundance and the mindset around that. So, if you have this identity when it comes to money, that money is hard, it's a struggle, and you don't see yourself as a wealthy person, it's going to be really hard to create that in your experience. So you can look at this in different areas of your life. What is the identity you've taken on in your relationships? What is your identity with money? What is your identity with your body and your health and your fitness? And does that identity serve you? Is it in alignment with what you desire to create? Those are all the things that Aries energy helps us cultivate. And it is that first sign of the zodiac. So before we move into creating harmonious relationships, which Libra embodies, we first have to know who we are and create a healthy relationship with ourselves. So that's the Aries energy. The Libra energy, where we currently have the sun as well as Mars in the sign of Libra, is all about relationships. It's how we coexist in harmony in our relationships. And it also, of course, speaks to that balance between the self and what we desire, what we want, and how we still coexist in relation to other people who all have their own agendas. And even deeper than that, their own karmic past, their own soul journey, how we co-create with them. That's what we're working with this full moon. And that's what the Libra focus brings in. Now, with Mars opposing the moon, that's a lot of energy being activated. Remember that Mars is our life force energy, our drive. Our moon is who we are on an emotional level. So there can be a lot of emotions, a lot of passion and excitement as well that comes up around this full moon. And I invite you to really take time to go within and be intentional about how you are channeling that energy. So some other aspects here is the moon is forming a sextile with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is going to be direct at the time of this full moon. A sextile in astrology is a harmonious flow of energy. So the moon and Jupiter are flowing in harmony together. And while the moon in Aries is about the self, Jupiter is currently traveling through Aquarius, which is all about groups and communities and our role within society. And this brings in the deeper knowing that, yes, we are unique individuals, a unique expression of infinite intelligence, which is something really special, right? To really feel into the power of that. At the same time, the actions that we take, the thoughts that we think, the choices we make affect other people as well. And I feel this energy speaks to that. And awareness of how what we are doing is contributing to the planet. And are we contributing in ways that are allowing our planet to grow and progress and expand and evolve and ascend in beautiful ways? Like really asking ourselves these powerful questions is important. It's remembering that we're not an island. Like our actions do have a ripple effect on the planet. You also have a unique energetic blueprint. So just by being here, your energy is being sent out into the world and making an impact. And that is really powerful as well. Now, the last aspect I want to look at is a square between the moon and Pluto. And once again, this brings in themes of power. And if you've been following my videos or my master classes, you know I've been talking a lot about power, this new paradigm of power, how we wield our power, feeling comfortable being grounded in our power, seeing power as something that can be equated with love instead of manipulation and misuse. And I actually have a free masterclass coming up. It's all about Ascension codes, the new paradigm of spiritual leaders and light workers. And I'll attach the link below. If you haven't yet had a chance to sign up for that, it's going to be really powerful. And we're going to go deeper into these topics, go deeper into the astrological shifts that are happening between now and the end of the year, and how, as a light worker, as a healer, as a soul-led entrepreneur, you can work with this energy to impact more people through your gifts, your work, while receiving abundantly for it. So yes, this aspect of the moon and Pluto really speaks to power. And again, how we're using our power, and power that comes from our connection to source energy and being able to take things from the energetic realm into the physical, and how we work with that. How we alchemize emotions as well. This square formation, like some astrologers could look at this and say, this is going to be really challenging. This is going to be really intense. But that's only if we don't know how to work with Pluto energy, which means we don't know how to alchemize. We don't know how to work with our power. But if you're following my videos, I know that you know how to do this. And I love to support you in doing this. And of course, it's something we can always get more comfortable with as well. And so this can also bring a lot of emotions to the surface. And it's really important to remember that you are not your emotions. You don't have to get pulled into old stories. You are a master alchemist. You're able to use everything that emerges in your life to move you forward. And when you see challenges in that way, you really are unstoppable because nothing's holding you back. It's like things are supporting you and moving you forward, or they're supporting you and moving you forward, because even what may look like a roadblock is actually causing you, inviting you to rise to the occasion, remember your power, remember who you really are, and to ultimately move closer to your vision, move closer to the impact you want to make on the planet, move closer to the life you want to live and experience while you're here in this body. So it's really powerful when we work with this energy. I feel this also, again, brings in the competition, which I spoke about a little bit, because Aries energy, that feeling of competition can be big right now. And again, it can serve us if it's not coming from a detrimental space of I have to be envious and jealous of people who I see achieving what I want to achieve, instead of allowing it to inspire us. That really is the key, right? Allowing other people to inspire us, maybe being competitive with yourself, but in a really playful, fun way, not where you push yourself forward, but where you're always looking to expand and evolve and grow. So those are the main energies at play with this Aries full moon, a chance to do a lot of powerful releasing and healing, but definitely a main theme I'm seeing here is that drive, that motivation, that ambition, that being grounded in your confidence and power, and really being able to move forward, having deeper clarity with decisions. There's a lot of fiery, action-oriented energy here that we are playing with. So once again, I hope you join me this week in my free masterclass, Ascension Codes, the new paradigm of spiritual leaders and light workers. It is free to join. I will attach the link below. And thank you for joining me. And once again, happy full moon. Lots of love being sent your way. And bye for now.